Good morning to all of you. At the beginning of the day, it is good to set the day and decide how you want your day to be and think about what you are going to attain today and how you're going to behave and how everything is going to work out for you during the day. And it's very good to listen to knowledge from the wise companion, from the Supreme Soul. And usually, when we listen to this message from the wise companion, we consider ourselves to be souls and listen in the soul conscious states by remembering that the Supreme Soul is talking to souls, not the roles or the body, what we do, or what is our position. He is talking to souls. So let's listen to a message from the wise companion.
The father was making a rosary of the elevated virtues of every elevated soul, because he knows that every elevated child of the elevated father has his or her own speciality. Even up to the last number, all are virtuous. It is not possible for a child of God not to have any virtues. It is because of those virtues that you are loved by God. This is why the Father was making a garland of virtues. To see weaknesses and to imbibe weaknesses is a mistake, just like accepting impure food. If you accept impure food as part of your diet, you feel that is a big mistake. In the same way, if you imbibe someone's weaknesses or defects in yourself, understand that you are someone who accepts impure food. You are then not a true Vaishnav, not one who belongs to the dynasty of Vishnu. This is why you constantly have to be an image of virtues, who always picks up virtues.
In this message, the Supreme Soul is mentioning Vaishnavas, and that is certain people who belong to certain religions where there is a high level of purity. And Vaishnavas mean those who eat completely pure food. And we know that pure food sustains the body. It also affects the mind and the feelings and emotions, what kind of food we eat. But in this message, he is talking about picking up virtues, and in that way, it's seeing others' virtues. All the children who belongs to the fathers have some kind of virtue, even though we don't really recognize it sometimes ourselves. And sometimes we feel like it's hard to find the virtues of others. But by practicing picking up pearls or picking up virtues, we become more advanced in seeing other people's virtues and seeing our own virtues. And picking up or looking at other people's weaknesses, seeing other people's weaknesses is like eating impure food. It's impurity for the mind and it's impurity for the soul to pick up other people's or notices other people's weaknesses. And especially if I talk about it, that is not good. So whatever I see in my surrounding, whatever I pay attention to and whatever I give attention to is growing within me. And it is showing that I don't have the power to accommodate if I look at other people's weaknesses. But when I see other people's virtues and I practice seeing other people's virtues, I feel better. That gives happiness, that gives strength, and that gives contentment. And I'm making those virtues mine, and I'm sending good vibrations to that soul by seeing the virtues of that soul. So all the children have virtues, and it's just mine to be so skilled to see other people's virtues and recognize my own virtues. There comes times when people feel like they are of no use and they have no qualities or virtues, but that is not the truth. Then we are seeing falsehood, we are seeing wrong things. So it's good to have in mind that when I look at other people's weaknesses, when I focus on other people's weaknesses, especially when I remind others on their own weaknesses, then I'm really not helping them. They usually know about their weaknesses, and I'm just making it worse. I'm making them feel bad, and I'm not helping anyone to constantly telling them that they are not good enough. Just like when a mother is talking to her child, or if a parent is talking to their children and they constantly tell them what they are not good in, that will not do anything good to the child. And that's the same with us, whoever we are talking to. If we tell them how good they are, what is their strength, what are their qualities, we are really, really giving good gifts to that soul. So it's beautiful to pick up other people's virtues, see other people's virtues, see their strength, see their capabilities, and remind them on that. Let's listen to the next message.
To know means to change. Knowledge is said to be light and might. You came to know that someone has a weakness, but did you burn your own weakness or the weakness of others with the power of knowledge? Weaknesses are rubbish. If you do notice them and you have the power to burn them, then be a master son of knowledge and become one who has positive thoughts about others. If there is the slightest rubbish in your intellect, you will not be able to keep the remembrance of the clean Father in it. Once your intellect instills the habit of imbibing rubbish, your intellect will repeatedly be drawn to rubbish against your conscious wish. Any type of impurity in your thoughts, words, deeds, or connections and relationships will deprive you of the elevated attainment of this age. Time will pass, and you will then have to come in the list of those who say, I have to attain. You will not then be in the list of those who are embodiments of all attainments.
We truly want to use this time in a worthwhile way because now in the world there are very, very special times when we are creating our fortune and we are creating our future. And here is the message that if we are focusing on others' weaknesses and focusing on our weaknesses, we are accumulating rubbish. And by accumulating rubbish, we are really not creating anything beneficial. We are really depriving us from the goodness that we can create. And it is true that focusing on other weaknesses, we are really not doing anything good to them. We are not doing anything good to ourselves. We are giving the wrong food to the mind and the intellect. We are feeding the intellect with negativity. And our aim is to become pure and have a pure intellect and pure mind, send good wishes and positive and pure vibrations to other souls. So it's very, very important to see how I think about others, how I look at others, how I look at the world, how just am I walking around and constantly having opinion about what others are doing, how things are going, how where the world has gone, what is happening in the world. This is not the right time to focusing on negativity. This is the time to be positive, to look through the glasses of positivity and love, see others who are playing the games with me, those who are traveling through this time with me, see them with pure love. And we have to focusing not just on our mind. The thoughts are very important because the thoughts are the creation power. We create through our thoughts, but what we think, that comes out in our words. So if I look at the negativity with the idea of not saying anything, usually we say it later on or at some times. And our deeds, how do I behave? How do I behave around other people? That creates their image of my image, how they think about me. So am I creating waste for others by how I behave? And then it's the connection and relationships. And by seeing other people's virtues and seeing other people's strength, I'm really cleaning and cleansing the relationships I'm in, because the soul can always pick up the vibrations I'm sending. And by focusing on the goodness in others, I'm really strengthening the relationship and sending beautiful vibrations to that soul. So I want to be a master of my mind, and we all want to be master of our mind and be able to give some goodness to the world. And by becoming master of my mind, not imbibing the wrong things, not picking up rubbish, that is a gift to the world.
Definitely a gift to the world to see your specialities. And you beautifully explained the benefits of seeing the virtues in others. And of course, you have to start with yourself. It's almost like within ourselves we have created these two spaces. Where do I want to be? Do I want to see my virtues and my specialities, the beauty and the truth of the soul? Or I got used to see my weaknesses. In ignorance, in darkness, we thought it is useful to see weaknesses. We thought it is serving a purpose to claim that we have no virtues, we are weak, we are poor, we are sad, and someone who is on a higher position will give us some extra help, will give us some support to come out of that state of misery. All of that was possible in the darkness of the spirit. Now, with the light of spiritual knowledge, you are starting to wake up to the truth, which is you are wonderful. And you, the soul, have all the virtues, all the qualities. And as you explained, there is no benefit in continuing to pity yourself, to feel that there are no qualities here. And maybe someone else can make me happy, someone else can make me powerful, someone else can make me good. That is a habit of the past. So, with spiritual knowledge, what was explained is that you can transform the weakness. Yes, you can see your own weakness. And how long does it take it to transform it? How long would you say, Sigrun?
Uh, it doesn't take long if you really, really want to do it. It can take a split of a second, but sometimes we are not really ready to let go of the negativity. It's, it's just depends on how determined you are in doing it. If you, usually when we become really tired of our things, say, for example, if I always complain and I see what I'm doing negative, what negativity I'm giving to myself, and I really get tired of it and I don't like it at all, then it's possible to transform it. But when I'm still taking pleasure from gossiping or talking negativity, yeah, negatively about others, then I'm taking pleasure from it. So, am I ready? When I'm ready, it doesn't take long. I really have to be ready.
Yes, yes. Something that helps in becoming ready is a relationship with the Supreme Soul. And that is because he's a very good companion. His vision is constantly on the strength, on the specialities. And when you are in the company of someone who sees you as being elevated, who sees you as being royal and powerful, you somehow imbibe that vision. And it all happens out of love. The more we invest in the relationship with the Supreme, making that divine your friend, making him or her your parent, your teacher, your peer, the more you will find it easy to follow in that way of living. And when there is love, when you start to love that new way, a way in which you see yourself as being good and lovely and powerful, then everything is easy. You don't have to work hard to remove all these old habits. So, to let go of weaknesses, I would say right now, make new friends. And the best possible friend is a Supreme Soul. Create time throughout the day to have this special relationship and to experience the way the Supreme Soul sees you. And as soon as you start to be in love with what you see in yourself, you will see the same in others. You will easily drop seeing defects and weaknesses. You have to start with yourself. Would you like to suggest a practice for today?
Yes, I just wanted to add that Okay, no, I'm just going to say the practice. What has helped me, what I wanted to add is what has helped is if somebody is, I have impure vision for someone or see other people weaknesses, practice to imagine how God looks at them. If somebody is upsetting me, I think, how does God see that person? What vision does God have of that person? And now I know God only have pure visions of everyone. But the practices today is something that I have practices and it really work is to pick out like 5 persons you meet today. At the end of the day, write down their qualities. You can write down their names and write down 3 or 4 virtues or qualities that that person has. And if we practice doing that, we start to look at people's virtues more. It comes automatically because you have a homework and you are thinking about your homework and you will finish it at the end of the day because you have to sit down and write down the virtues that this particular soul has. So it's good practice to see others' virtues. So pick or find 5 persons you are in communication with today and give them 2, 3, 4 virtues at the end of the day.
Excellent. Thank you. And we'll meet again tomorrow at the same time. Bye-bye.